What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to go over whether you should be playing earnings plays or not. So with that being said, we're just going to cut right into the intro and get into this video.
I know I'm fine, but the money
Okay
makes
guys, I get this question a lot, and especially in my DMs, of how do I play earnings? And I think this is a very, very simple, but yet people make it overcomplicated because they see what everybody else is doing. And I think that's one of the things when you're a trader, that it's really hard to not listen to what everybody else is doing and you just really stay blinded and still stick to your plan. And I will admit, I've veered off every now and then, but every time I seem to veer off, I lose money. So I stick to just what I know how to do, and what I do. So again, long-term wise, that's worked very, very well for me. So the earnings trade, how do I trade this? And I pulled up PLTR because a lot of people love this stock right now. It's a lower price stock, and it's got earnings tomorrow. So first thing first, I always like to make sure I like the company overall. If I'm going to invest into it, I think, everybody says that that's a very basic rule, and I agree, it is a basic rule, but it's so important, and people seem to overlook at it just because they're trying to make a quick buck. There are no quick bucks in this market. If you keep trying to make quick bucks, you will lose your money over time, unless you're the luckiest person in this world. So, first thing I like to do is just look at the earnings per share, what they're estimated, and you can look here more into Palantir's financials. I am big on, I always want to know, net profit, gross profit, pre-tax, all this. You can go through all these. It'll show you all the information here for their financials. Now, I do like to look at those things when I'm looking at companies. So, the other thing is how many other eyeballs are on this, and is it worth playing to me? I think that's something that not a lot of people look at, and what's going on with everything. So there was a lot of crap going on with Texas and the borders and things like that. I pay no attention to any of that. So I don't really look at the news. I don't really care a whole lot unless it has something to do with oil or like the big six, Apple, Google, Amazon, things like that, Microsoft. But when it comes down to earnings, I don't play earnings unless I'm in an ETF or a fund that has those in its portfolio. But even then, it basically mitigates all the risk away from being so volatile. And that's what I like, guys. If you guys are option sellers like I am, the volatility does help collect more in premiums, and that's 100% okay. But I don't... I'm so sorry, guys, but I don't need one company to dictate my whole portfolio for that one day. And again, I get it. It's only one day, and that's perfectly fine. But again, we're looking at these things, and you will notice we're going to actually go over to PLTR here and look at the options on it, because a lot of people will still trade these. And again, if you truly blindly believe in this company, maybe this isn't a bad trade for you. But I'm looking at the puts, and you can see that they are actually worth a lot more now due to this, and you can get even further out. So to me, like, this trade is not a bad trade. Did I enter this on Friday? No, because I'm in a USO trade, and I just kind of wanted to stay away from PLTR and a couple of the other ones that I'm not truly believing in, but I don't hate them whatsoever. I just thought that there were some other better trades with oil dropping on Friday. I would rather get into those trades. So again, you're looking at this one, 14 cents for $1,400, so $14 off of $1,400. It's not a bad little trade here. In the worst case scenario, in this Friday, you get it at a 14. So let's go back to the chart here. A 14, that's not awful. Again, you guys know I like to use this little tool here. 14, that's not a bad trade whatsoever. I'm not telling anybody, I think that this is an awful trade. Now again, if the earnings get killed, yes it can, but I'm willing to risk $1,400. To me, that's not a lot. To other people, that may be a lot. That may be your whole account. Again, there's no problem with that. Just stay small. Be able to trade smaller, so you're not seeing your P&L in your account make you emotional and drop or go up, and you're riding those highs and lows. I like to stay neutral. I like to have a balance, between bonds. I don't just buy the bonds. I trade the options on the bonds. The S&P 500. The NASDAQ, you guys know I like the Qs, or TQQQ as well. I've had very, very good luck with it. And then being able to go into a company like an Amazon or stuff like that after earnings. Again, keyword after earnings, I will go in and I will start playing them, mainly because the volatility is still there a little bit, but it's a company that I absolutely would love to own. Again, this is one I'm going to show you just for this one because Amazon earnings were last week and it absolutely went crazy. Yeah, look at the gap up on this. But you guys realize if it didn't gap up, it probably would have just gapped down that much. Not saying that it would have. Even if it came in, the earnings were just flat and they covered exactly what they expected, it probably would have been a little bit up, but I'm not seeing, you see these gap downs in here. And then this last earnings right here, you guys see that it was downtrending, then it popped back up. Amazon's going to be better over time. I truly believe that one. Again, this is another earnings play that in the future, maybe I'm looking at because I want to own the stock. So again, I do sell puts on Amazon. I had no problem with this one. And now after it doing this, I would really love to sell some 155s. And I'm going to show you guys this just so you guys can see it. So AMZN, because I think this is a great opportunity to look at these things. And again, I want to go a little bit further out. So I'm going to go out to that 47. I like the 45. You guys know that if you guys have been here before. But I'm going to get out here. And yeah, you guys can get out here quite a bit. So I'm probably going to go to the 155. And if we look at 155, based off the numbers, if we go back to the chart, again, look at that. Right where I said, the 155, 150, I can get out the 150. I'm not going to collect as much, but that's okay. I'm still going to collect $60 that month, basically, for being able to own the stock at $150. And to be honest with you, if we're looking at the whole PE ratios and everything, Amazon may be undervalued slightly where it's at. But with the big push up, I do expect, a little bit of a pullback on Amazon. And then it'll probably just continue to coast back upwards. You guys got to remember, we have had downtrends in Amazon. This has happened, guys. You can't say that it hasn't. I mean, they've had some. Now, of course, they had the stock split and things like that. That's what this symbol is right here. It's a stock split. They did it just around the same time Google and Apple and all those did it as well. It was just a smart choice. Amazon, though, is one that I think everybody's seeing. Every single person in the world has used or is using currently, whether it's Prime, their shipping, Amazon Prime, shopping on their website. Whatever the case may be is, just know that you like the company. If you're doing an earnings play, you have to be willing to love that stock or that business is really what you should be looking at, and being able to hold it for a very long time. I think that is the key part of this trade. And I think anybody that's actually looking to trade these, especially on options in these earnings trades, has to be looking at that, because if not, you're just setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're going like penny stocks and going on their earnings. Guys, that is a recipe for disaster. The amount of times that I used to make money shorting those because people would be pushing these stocks all the way up on a junk stock, and then I would short near the top with, I had a max loss, but then the stock would fall 50% and I would make a ton of money. Now, that's a little bit harder to do nowadays due to, getting short in those stocks. Shares to short are not as good, so I don't do that really anymore. I just stick to good companies. I can continue to trade and sell the puts on it, and I am the casino. I have all the edge in the market, and that's what's great. And even then, if I want to protect myself, you guys can do what the put credit spreads or the call credit spreads, whichever ones you need to do in order to continue to make money and maximize where your risk is. Basically, you're actually minimizing it, knowing exactly how much you can lose. But it's a great idea. So with that being said, thank you guys all for watching this video. I hope this helps somebody out and being able to help you put it all into one strategy and, maybe not make some mistakes that, I've made and others have made in the past. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one.